So on the 22nd day or so ago, Alan Wake dropped another set of DLC, and it's called The Lake House. So I actually played through this twice. First playthrough was not great. Once I realized I was playing on normal, I changed up the settings. Second playthrough was a lot better, I felt. Um, it was kind of interesting. Like, I kind of like seeing these different characters in the Alan Wake series. There were a lot of comments online saying, like, oh my god, Alan Wake is highlighting his own game. I'm like, well, first, he's an author. He's writing a story. Stories have more than one character. Like, I don't know if it would have been possible in the original game to have as many characters, but since he's in the dark place, there'll be other things happening while he's stuck trying to get out. So, this particular story with the Asian chick, Karen Estevez, the actors are smoking hot, by the way. Just putting that out there. But a story like this is actually kind of interesting. This takes place like directly before Saga Henderson is introduced in the story, so it's kind of a prequel to the main campaign, which I kind of liked. It's a little short. I thought it would be like a couple hours at least, it's barely an hour and change. It's kind of shocking to me, honestly. I would say it wasn't hyped up too much, but to me, I think it lived up to the hype. I like being able to explore the building. Again, new characters is always a plus for me because you'll get something like a new Star Wars game, like Outlaws, for example. You get like 3 out of 4 new planets, and then you go back to the same old planet you've seen a gazillion times. So getting more new characters like the Night Springs DLCs, featuring that chick from Control, Jesse Faden, the crazy chick from the diner, and Tim Breaker, the sheriff guy, in the third episode of Night Springs. Then we got this. And I'd say there's so much content now on there too. I might give it an attempt to do the whole story, the whole campaign in one sitting. I'll see how that goes down the line. But this is pretty cool. So now, like, I don't know that ammo will be like you to go through the story. It's not to worry about running out of ammo. I wish I could do that with Resident Evil. Because run out of ammo in those games are the worst times. But this was pretty cool. I really like this. This part right here, we have to find the passcode or whatever. It's kind of dumb, but fortunately, I found a way around it. Made the playthrough go a lot faster. So basically, I think she's investigating some type of crazy disturbance, and these doctors basically went crazy as they're seeing lower levels, and basically turned into a freaking episode of Resident Evil or something. It's actually a lot of fun, believe it or not. There's no like jump scare or nothing. Just a lot of those taking things and just paint monsters or something. You need to find a special gun to fight to take them down. Yeah, so this is really cool. I'm like, I kind of wish there was a little more extra content on the way, but I'll take what I can get, you know? Yeah, I really do like seeing these other characters beside Alan Wake. Surprisingly enough, Alan Wake's segments in the games are the toughest. At least they used to be for me. Now with New Game Plus, it's 10 times easier. But because a lot of the segments are just a bunch of like mazes and labyrinths. If you got no idea where you're going, you gotta be wandering around. This is why I found Saga Anderson's segments a little bit easier. Even the we sing part, you gotta know exactly where to do the shifter thing, otherwise you'll be going around in circles. Yes, she ends up losing her team in this. She ends up losing her team in the latter half of this story here. There's actually a character from Control in this. I think his name is Dylan. So that's a nice little Easter egg there. Because Remedy's definitely planning for Control too. Those of us that are fans of the Remedy of the Control Alan Wake universe. Honestly, looking at the Alan Wake campaign, I'm like, kind of wish that Alan wrote Rose as the main protagonist. The crazy chick from the diner. Not just because she's obsessed with Alan Wake, but like, basically would have been a funny ass protagonist, honest truth. It was kind of cool to get to play as her in the nice rings, but I don't know. The saga's cool. I thought you were a little whiny. Like, I should read my family story, blah, blah, blah. Like, well, kinda. I just think it would have been a little more humorous if it was Rose. Because you run into her at the diner, and then you run into her at, crazy group home or whatever. It's like, Tor Anderson, you get back here right now. I says, you're watching this dude just disappear into this pond. And she's acting like it's a regular day at the office. I'm like, what is wrong with this broad? Then you see her again in the main story once you get back to playing as Alan at some point. I think this type of game is just better as doing all the Saga Anderson stuff first, and then all the Alan Wake stuff, just to get out of the way. The Alan Wake segment should be done first. Saga stuff is a little bit easier. Should be a lot easier with Malone Ammo and these other adjustments I got now, thanks to his update for that deluxe edition. So it didn't take me as long as I thought it would to figure out how to navigate the sub levels. People are crying like, oh my god, she can't fight, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, do you really need her to? Yeah, I think I did enough in this. I was kind of expecting more of those crazy taking things. The shadow monsters. Kind of like they mixed them up a little. They got the paint things and then they got the shadow monsters. It's clear to me that the dark place is different for everybody. And you definitely go through an overlap in this. Because these idiots are trying to replicate Alan Wake's writing and just making stuff worse naturally. So it's kind of like I imagine Dark Place is different for everybody. But like someone like Crazy Rose probably wouldn't bat an eyelash if she was in the Dark Place. as long as she could find Alan, I guess. And there's not too many puzzles in this. It's the honest truth. Really ain't. It's like I don't really mind that because I don't really care for puzzles in these types of games. If I want to play a game of puzzle, I'll just play Super Mario or something more. Even Sonic games don't have puzzles in them. But like, I feel like Nintendo is more of a puzzle esque developer than Sony or Microsoft. I mean, it depends on the game, but like, like most you get for puzzles in this are the computer passwords. Other than that, you just run around avoiding these crazy paint things. That's what you have right there. And bolts have no effect, so you gotta just run, I guess. Until you find this special gun. First, I thought it was going to be the gun from Control that Jesse used. I'm like, we're going to use the gun from Control? My own word? No, it's an even better looking gun, too. We're like, all right, I'll take it. My only real complaint is that it's a little short as far as like the length of the story in this. This isn't a problem. I just like kind of wish there was more going on. I'm like, I feel like it just ended a little too soon. Yeah, we could have definitely done more with this DLC content. This was hyped up for a long time. And you finally get it, it's like not even 2 hours. Like the last Ghostbusters movie that came to theaters, hyped up for like over a year. And it's not even an hour long. Barely an hour. Because like I'm grateful for all the content that everybody's been putting out for Alan Wake 2. And it's like I want more Night Springs episodes. And I wanted more from this. Night Springs was fantastic. I kind of wanted more of that. Like, give me 3 more episodes with more new characters, or another episode of roast. Crazy roast from the diner. Like, I think it'd be kind of cool to play as Alex Casey, the funny ass detective from Alan Wake stories. Like, I'm not really a betting guy or gambler. I'm willing to bet on that we will play as Alice Wake, like 3. Maybe get things from her point of view. Because she throws herself into an overlap towards the end of the story to go find out. I think she ends up at the Bureau of Control, kind of like Estevez here in this DLC. She mentions that borough at the end of the story. So I'm willing to bet we're going to play as Alice Wake because they had to recast the actress because the original actress passed away. Very sad, but the show must go on. as they say in theater. So yeah, that's definitely I can see that definitely happening. Of course, you're always gonna get the criers online, like, "Oh my god, I'm always gonna be sidelined again." No, you won't. If you understand anything about writing books, you know that there's always more than one character, unless you're just writing a poem or something. Well, otherwise, it won't be much of a story, would it? I mean, for a book, yeah, but like for like film and TV, I don't want to go into harp on a thing about DC right now, but when the movie called Superman and you jam cram with a bunch of other random characters, well, yeah, I'm not trying to go on a rant right now. Man, this story for this is pretty simple. I mean, I didn't really struggle with it too much. This was definitely a better playthrough for me. That's what they could have done a little bit more, added a little more content here. When you get to the end of this campaign, it just ends. Does this end a chapter? Maybe they'll add more. I don't know. I feel like this could be like a 2 or 3 parter. It doesn't have to be just this one segment. Hopefully, more with this particular character. But most witches are running around with your flashlight. I mean, not too many enemies that jump out at you in this, surprisingly enough. Removing these little power cores is like one of the only puzzles you do. Again, I'm not complaining because I don't really care for puzzles in these types of games, but yeah, I'm just a little let down. Not let down, but like disappointed at how short this was. I mean, it took me a couple hours the first time I played it because I'm freaking normal. The enemies are like chunking away at my health. I'm like, where did my health go? And a couple of hits and got knocked out over and over and over again. I'm like, deuce. So I finally changed the difficulty setting and finally beat the damn story. And got rid of that video, but this one's a lot better. I actually knew what I was doing this time around. Yeah, so you got these shadow monsters here in this part here. See, now it makes sense how she knew where to go to get all that equipment to fight Scratch in the main story. All this makes sense now. She went back to the lake house to get all that gear. So that type of stuff I like seeing because you don't have to over explain it. You can literally piece it together yourself. Okay, that makes sense now. Well, she disappears at the end of the main campaign before we're about to go confront Scratch. I'm like, where'd you get all this gear from? Like, well, now playing this, now you know. And that's good. That's good storytelling. That's great writing. That's how you do it. Don't over explain it. Don't need to do don't need to spoon feed you everything like Disney Wars or something. Or dopey Andor guy show. You want to know what this guy was eating for breakfast before he got blown up? No. There's a TV show about it. Try not to fall asleep watching it. I mean, like, it's an hour and 14. Most of it's just running around in the dark with a flashlight, which is typical Alan Wake stuff, but like, they definitely could have had more in this, I think. I mean, me personally, I was just like looking around for supplies and stuff. Yeah, this feels more like Resident Evil than Alan Wake. Especially when the lights went out. I'm like, oh, is Nemesis gonna jump out of the shadows at me now or something? The Nemesis or Mr. X. One of them probably. Mr. X probably make more sense in this. Just turn the corner and start following you. But your Nemesis would be like, stop. I think that gun is in here somewhere. And I really thought they were going to give me the gun from Control. Yeah, here it is. That's a sweet looking gun, man. Even better with my unlimited ammo. Yeah, this was cool. I wasn't entirely sure what to expect, so I kind of went through it blind, which is the way I like to play games these days. Like, Dragon Age coming out in a couple of days. Not trying to be spoiled on anything for that. It's kind of to make sure notifications are edited. I know certain gamers out there are going to be uploading the whole damn thing before I even get a chance to download it. Bought it a couple of days ago. I read some of the comments. I'm like, people were like, "Oh, why isn't Alan Wake in this? Why are we playing as Alan?" Like, Alan is stuck in a dark place. Been there for like half a decade. So, like I was saying, it'll make sense for other things to be taking place while he's trapped. Something like this. Like, he appears in Night Springs in the second episode. It was like a Twilight Zone type of miniseries. It's part of why I like it so much. Kind of want to see more episodes like that down the line. Maybe a spin-off game or something. Who knows? Maybe episode 3 for that Night Springs is probably the weakest. They're all pretty good though. Gameplay wise, playing as new characters. It's the stuff I like to see. Doesn't take anything away from Alan. Like he's an author, he's not a war. He's an author. That's why I wrote Saga in as the hero, because she has experience with one with firearms and two with investigating strange stuff. So it makes sense. Yeah, these little videos on the screen feel very like Resident Evil like. Which I kind of like because Resident Evil is awesome. So never hear me talk crap about Resident Evil. Except maybe for Village, like that crazy dollhouse segment. That may be the only thing I don't like about the latest Resident Evil. Finally got through 7 and played 7 a couple times. I think 7 really is the best one, besides RE4, my boy Leon. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that someone can do a faithful adaptation of Resident Evil someday. I won't hold my breath. I've done it twice now and failed both times. The movies are actually decent, I guess. There was a couple animated films. The last one was pretty good. So here's the final boss. First playthrough took me like close to damn 20 minutes just to beat this frog. Or creature, wherever it turned out to be. It was like after you beat the boss, I'm like, you would think there would be more that happens. Because she shows up again after Saga gets the clicker. So I'm like, is there another investigation in between this that we can do? Because I'm be down for that. Hopefully someone will ever consider that because hey, books got more than one character. I mean, why not? I don't see the issue at all. Because she swings at you back twice, and you gotta dodge it like you're freaking Spider-Man or something. When I was playing on normal, apparently, one little hit from her would take like half of my health away. Half. So I thought we were gonna have to hit some switches or something with this to like weaken her, but like all you gotta do is really just shoot her a couple of times and she'll fall down. Disappointing. And then she just summons her little paint monsters. Because I'm like, Because these creatures are like vulnerable to light. So I figured like, oh, I gotta hit like one of these switches and dampen the lights or something. I could just shoot her until she falls, apparently. Which is kind of lame because I'm like, you gotta be a little more creative than that, you know? Shit. And she just does the same thing. She just keeps swiping at you. Nothing really fancy. All you gotta do is dodge and shoot the broad. So it's a little underwhelming as far as a boss fight to me. I'm like, yeah, really could have done a little bit more with that. See, there she goes. She just falls down. And you hit the switch, and which one? This? So you hit the switch, and you end up in what? Dark place. She sees Alan Wake typing at a desk. He can't hear her though. And then she's back at Cauldron Lake or something. So I feel like that left the door open for another story with this character. And I'll be shocked if Merwin doesn't at least attempt to do more of these smaller stories with these other characters in the Alan Wake universe. See, he's right there. She sees him sitting at a table typing, but he can't hear her. And then she gets transported back to Cauldron Lake or something. And there goes one of the people that found the crazy cult. This guy right here. In the beginning of the story. Must have just happened. So the next time you see this character is after Saga gets the clicker from the crazy group home. And she just shows up and arrests Alan Wake, takes him to the sheriff's station. And that's when they have like one of the coolest twists in the game that Alan Wake and Scratch are the same person. That was awesome. The other thing it just made me missed opportunity to not include more stories with these other characters. Like I know developing games takes time, but like still. As long as I don't have to wait another decade for I don't know, like 3. Control 2 would probably be the next project they do. Probably already working on that, honestly. Yeah. I can give this actually 8.5 out of 10. Not quite a 9. I think it could have been a little bit longer in the as far as gameplay. I'm not gonna say it's rushed, but I think they could have done a little bit more with this.